In the shadow of Rome's grand amphitheaters, where cheers once split the heavens, there lies a ruin untouched by time and untouched by truth. They say beneath the 7th district, past the aqueducts and the bones of a forgotten basilica, a door was sealed during the reign of Emperor Hadrian, a door not meant to be opened, not because of what it kept out, but what it kept in. The common people whisper of it as Arenus Mortis, the arena of the dead. No record in the Senate, no inscription in marble, only silence. And now, that silence is breaking. A team of imperial excavators led by Prefect Marcus Darius uncovers a sealed iron gate, caked in wax and bound in rusted chains etched with Latin prayers. Among them is Caius Severus, a disgraced veteran turned hired hand. Once a decorated arena champion, now lost in Rome's underworld. He's drawn to the gate, not by glory, but by a dream of sand, screams, and a voice that said, "Come home." When the gate is cracked open, a dry wind exhales from the depths, colder than death. The torches go out. They descend, past collapsed chambers and mural-covered halls that depict no emperor, no gods, only nameless gladiators, eyes stitched shut, bodies twisted in reverence. One image shows a man crowned in thorns of iron, kneeling in sand, arms raised to a crowd that has no faces. Caius pauses. He's seen this before, not in art, in memory. But how? At the lowest level, they reach a massive circular chamber, a hidden arena, the arena beneath the city, unlike any Caius has seen. No seats, no sky, just walls of black marble and a central pit where the sand seems to breathe. And in the silence they hear it, footsteps, but they are alone, or should be. A sudden collapse knocks Caius unconscious. When he wakes, he's back in the arena. Not this one, but another. Chained, surrounded by mass, forced to fight in silence. No crowd, no names, only symbols. Then a voice whispers, "You survived what should have ended you. Now, finish what you started." He awakens to Prefect Darius shaking him, but the others have vanished, gone without a sound. No screams, no struggle, only sand, scattered where their bodies stood. Caius looks to the arena pit. Footprints lead in, but none come out. He steps toward the pit. Something calls to him, not like a memory, but a command. As he kneels, brushing sand away with trembling hands, he uncovers a relic, his own name, carved in stone. Cav Severs below it, a final word. Victives. Vanquished. Some arenas are built for sport, some for punishment. But this one was built for something else. Not to host death, but to preserve it. The streets above hummed with Roman life, laughter, markets, temple chants. But below, the world breathed differently, cold, damp, alive. After surviving his first fight, Tiberius followed Cassia into the tunnels beneath the city, a winding maze far older than the forum above. This was no ordinary holding cell. It was a graveyard of memory and intent. Cassia whispered, "This arena was built not for glory, but for forgetting." Rome hides its sins under marble. They entered a cavern lined with ancient bones and strange artifacts. Not Roman, not barbarian, symbols carved in languages lost to time. And in the center, a statue with no face, cloaked in metal vines. Cassia called it the Oracle of Iron, the supposed origin of the arena's dark tradition. "Every victor gives blood," she explained. "Not for sport, for the pact." Tiberius asked, "What pact?" Cassia answered, "The one Rome made, to remain eternal." In a crumbling chamber lit by oil lamps, they met the others, ex-gladiators who had faked their deaths in the arena above, scarred, brilliant, broken. They called themselves the Vanquished, not in defeat, but in defiance. One, a philosopher named Severin, revealed the arena's true purpose. Each fight is watched not by nobles, but by priests. Blood spilled here feeds the eternal flame buried below. The Senate pretends not to know, but they send sacrifices nonetheless. Tiberius burned with disbelief. but he'd seen too much to laugh. He returned to the arena above. This time, no crowd, just shadows. The opponent wore no armor, no name, no insignia, a creature of flesh and fury. It fought like death itself, neither man nor beast, but forged of pain. Tiberius barely survived. He was not cheered, he was not spared. The high priest in the stands, silent, masked, simply nodded. Back in the tunnels, Cassius showed Tiberius an ancient scroll, a decree sealed by Emperor Domitian himself. The arena beneath the city was never meant to exist. It was a secret project of the cult of Imperium, Rome's inner circle of shadow. Every emperor who sat the throne knew of this place, she said. Most pretended it was myth, until one day it wasn't. Tiberius asked, "Why keep it alive?" Cassius responded, "Because Rome fears one thing more than death, fading into history." That night, Severin proposed the impossible: end the arena, destroy the eternal flame, collapse the tunnels, bury the secret. Cassius hesitated. Tiberius clenched his fist. "If Rome has bled us for centuries, then we'll bleed the truth back into the streets." Above, the arena readied for another day of sacrifice. Below, the ashes stirred. In Rome, history is not written, it is buried, and sometimes it claws its way back. Rome slept, but beneath its cobbled veins, war had already begun. Tiberius stood beside Cassius, Severin, and the Vanquished, each marked by pain, each fueled by purpose. They weren't fighting for revenge. They were fighting for memory, for every name buried beneath applause. Tonight, the eternal flame would die. The final descent led them through the oldest tunnel, a shaft carved before even the Republic. Along the walls were murals, not of gladiators, but of chained gods, tortured beasts, blood offerings. A secret mythology Rome had erased. Cassius whispered, "This is older than Rome." At the end, a massive bronze door, sealed in wax, guarded by silence. Beyond it, the flame. Just as Severin broke the seal, a dart struck his throat. He collapsed, eyes wide, lifeless. From the shadows stepped Magnus, former champion of the arena, and Rome's secret enforcer, scarred, armored in crimson, face like stone. "I was promised eternity," Magnus growled. "Not freedom, not death, eternity." He had sold their plan to the priests. Steel clashed beneath the city, a battle that echoed like thunder beneath the marble world above. Tiberius fought Magnus in the flame chamber, a colossal dome lit by the blue fire that danced without smoke. Every blow shook the ground. Every strike echoed with centuries of pain. Cassius disabled the ritual pillars one by one, dodging blades while chanting forgotten verses from Gallic scrolls, trying to unbind the flame's power. Magnus roared, "You can't kill what Rome hides!" Tiberius replied, bloodied but unbroken, "No, but I can expose it." He drove his blade into the altar, not Magnus, disrupting the ritual instead of winning the fight. The flame screamed, not like fire, but like memory. The chamber shook, walls cracked, blue fire erupted like veins. The Vanquished pulled Cassius and Tiberius to safety. Magnus, trapped behind falling stone, vanished with the altar as the dome collapsed. Above, in the silent arena, dust rose through the cracks in the floor. The crowd looked up, confused, afraid. They had heard the silence before. Now, they heard truth. Smoke drifted from sewer grates and alley cracks. Whispers spread like fire. The Senate denied everything. The priests vanished. But the people knew. The arena's gates were sealed, forever. Tiberius and Cassius stood outside the forum, dressed as commoners, watching the crowd murmur around the ruins. Cassius said, "We ended the pact." Tiberius replied, "No, we reminded Rome that it existed." In the end, Rome's greatest fear was not rebellion, it was revelation. And revelation, once lit, never dies.